All right, today we're going to be talking about the fiduciary duties of corporate officers and directors. So let's get started. First of all, what you need to know is members of your board of directors, members of your executive staff who are officers of the company have certain duties. Those are duties to the shareholder. These are legal requirements, so they're called fiduciary duties. What are they? Well, it depends on the state that you're incorporated in. Each state sets forth the fiduciary or legal duties that are required of corporate board members and corporate officers. Step number one, what are those duties? Well, they include things like the duty of loyalty, the duty of care, the duty of obedience, the duty of good faith, and the duty of disclosure. So what is all that legal mumbo jumbo? What does it really mean? It means that your board members and your officers have an obligation to act as a reasonably prudent business person would act. They have an obligation to disclose any conflicts of interest they might have. They have an obligation to put the needs of the company ahead of their own personal interests. Those are the key and core fiduciary duties of your board members and your corporate officers. What is not required, and this is point number 2, and please pay attention. There is absolutely no law in the land that says that your board or your executive officers have a fiduciary duty to maximize shareholder returns. That's not true. It's the myth that drives business in corporate America. When I first raised venture capital at age 23, I didn't know any better, and my VCs told me that I had a fiduciary duty to maximize the return to my shareholders. And if that meant that I had to cut wages or push down prices on my suppliers, so be it. Whatever it took to maximize profits, as long as it wasn't illegal, that was my duty. So don't be fooled. That's not your duty. You are at choice, and that's our third point today. As a founder, as an entrepreneur, as a future business leader, you need to know that you are at choice. Obviously, you have to conform with those legal obligations that we talked about at the beginning, but you do not have to minimize your expenses in such a way that you are leaning heavily on your other stakeholders in order to maximize the return to your shareholders. You can balance it. You can absolutely make a profit for your shareholders, or you're not going to be CEO for very long. You must make a profit if you're running a for-profit business, or you have no right to be running the business. But how you make that profit is up to you. And the idea in stakeholder capitalism is that you are going to earn the profit over the longer term while you simultaneously deliver benefit to each and every one of your stakeholders. You have the right to choose. Don't be bullied into screwing your stakeholders for the benefit of your shareholders. You don't need to do that. So listen up and pay attention, and don't get screwed.